Hey, y'all. I know. We were backstage turning up. But we're here. We're here. And you know who it is. It's your boy, Big Tank. Hank, coming at you with a new live stream. Hank's wild about Herps. And I have a gentleman on here. He's wild about more than just Herps. All creatures that creep and crawl, fly, swim, and jump, he has an affinity for. And we're going to bring him up here and let him introduce himself. Give y'all a breakdown of all the wonderful things that he's doing. And he's only 25. Yes, sir. Now, I don't want to hold you too much longer, but we have WILDEBEAST Exotics. WILDEBEAST, Texas, depending on where you see him, because he's from my home area, Houston. What's going on, man?
What's up, y'all? I'm glad to be here.
I'm glad to have you here, man. Glad to have you here. We're going to dive on into this thing. Just give them a rundown. Small introduction of yourself. Let them get a little taste of who you are. Wow, up until Big U, and then we're going to roll with it.
Well, my name is Quaylen. I'm from Texas, born and raised. I'm a Texas boy. I love animals. All animals. Furry, scaly, feathery. They fly, they crawl. I like it all. So that, I'm a young breeder getting into the industry and trying to change the industry for the better. And I've been having some exciting projects coming up. I've produced some cool babies this last year, and I'm excited for what the future has to hold for me.
Okay, good deal, man. Good deal. Yeah, I started this live stream. I've been doing the fish stream 2.5 years or so. Mm-hmm. And my channel is Big Tank, Hank, for a reason. Not aquatics, not any of that, because I've had more than just fish in tanks. If you can think of it, especially in Texas, if it ran around in Texas, I could catch it, I had it. I done had monitors. I done had all kinds of stuff. I had ants all the way up to, what's the biggest thing I done had? Well, I had a horse at one point, a cow. But I had all these other little things in the middle of that also. I used to ride bulls, the whole nine.
Okay.
And the fact, man, I ran up on your Instagram, man, to seeing all the animals and stuff, man, that you dealing with, the places that you were going, man. And I'm like, man, I want to see what this cat's all about, without even knowing you was in Houston at the time.
Yeah, I've been like yourself. I started off young, just running around catching critters all around the city and trying to care for them, so unofficially, I've been in this my whole life. Officially, I can say I started actually doing projects with specific things. I started with boas. When I was around 16, I got a pair of boas, I raised them up, and I planned to breed them out. But when I raised them up, someone offered me some really good money for them. And that's what really got me going, is because I didn't really know that the certain morphs and all the jazz, the backstory that goes into everything like that. So that's what really intrigued me, is just trying to produce all these different things. And once I realized that, because I was always called the weirdo guy for having all these weird animals and stuff. So to actually have a community of people that loved everything that I do and also had some of the same animals that I had, it was refreshing. And so I just wanted to give something back to them as a gift and a token to being in the hobby. And, I feel like that's what we should all do as keepers, and just push the hobby forward and create an environment where people can come and nurture and learn.
Okay, most definitely. That's a wonderful thing, because we have so many people going unlearned, uneducated on taking care of these animals, man. And it's a sad state that we're in right now in that sense. And I mean, I guess technically it's not new, but the new mindset makes it look so much worse,
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the more people started using the animals as like a commodity, you know, like for Instagram and the viewers and everything like that. And, you know, so I feel like, yeah, it's not really new. It's just more out there because the industry is growing. But with that, the information needs to grow and evolve also. We can't have keep teaching the same bad habits to new people. So, because then it's no longer on the keeper's fault, but it's on the educator's fault, because we're not pushing the education that we need to be pushing. So, on that token, you know, we're going to be having some websites and some channels, and I'm hoping up to team with you and a whole bunch of other people to create an environment and a community where we can all share those opinions, because a lot of people, I feel like animal people get attached to, you know, you get a dog and you have the best intentions to care for your dog, but then somebody else tells you, oh, well, you're feeding it the wrong food, or, you know, you need to do something like that. People automatically get defensive about it. And I feel like that's the biggest thing, is being able to digress information or receive information or even give information in an easy, digestible way to improve it, you know, because I feel like a lot of people just try to hop on people and bash people about it, which I understand there's the emotions behind certain things, but that's only going to make them do the exact opposite, you know, so.
Yeah, the ability to communicate and to disseminate information. I had a situation where I bought some redback walking frogs from Petco, and my red-eyed tree frog I bought the same day, which I've had him a year now. But those redback frogs died like pretty quick. Now, I went to like a frog group on Facebook, and I'm like, hey, I've just bought these. Hey, first of all, what are they? Because the Petco and them are making their own names. I can't find it. You know, and a guy was like, oh, you know, they're probably better. What do they call them? Betas, and they're going to die because they full of this, full of that. You see the face I made? I couldn't see him, but that's the way I was hearing it, you know? And I'm like, I say, dude, isn't the name of this page like Dark Frogs for Dummies or something, you know, like newbies or whatever? I said, I'm asking. Mind you, what he said ended up being true.
Yeah.
You know, they were poorly bred, probably disease, they died, got on up out of here. But I would have received it differently. Right. If he had been saying, he could have said, oh, brother, oh my God, brother, I'm sorry that you bought it at Petco. This is why. You know, they don't have any respect for all this about the dollar. Then I'm like, okay, so let me see what I need to do, as opposed to me, man, you rude. Who you talking to? Yeah.
Especially, you know, the nature in Houston, you can digress with me. It's just the biggest problem is us as keepers and breeders need to make sure we're doing our due diligence and making sure that we're supplying the community with quality animals and not cutting corners. Because, of course, it would be easy for us to bring a whole bunch of animals in and sell them for a profit. But the point is to keep the genetics going, keep people's lines alive, and keep the bloodlines going, and to give people animals that they're excited about, because that's what gets us happy and involved in the community in the first place, is to see cool new stuff and to know that, you know, that relationship with the keeper and breeder and all of that is cool. It's like if you I don't know yourself, but I'm a car guy. You know, I have a really fast car, and I like going to the car meets and my car group and, you know, being in that atmosphere, because it's just nurturing in that. But it feels like in the animal world, it's more like the guy has a cool car, but he wants to keep it in his garage and doesn't want nobody to see it and doesn't want anybody to know about it or anything like that. But we need to change that narrative and actually start speaking about it and get more people involved, instead of, you know, excluding it to only a tier of people. Which I agree, you know, certain animals you don't want going to, you know, bad hands and ultimately killing an animal that, you know, might have produced a lot of cool things for you. But overall, we just need to do better. And I feel like there are a lot of people taking the responsibility into their own hands, as yourself, and creating these podcasts and these platforms to further educate people on these same matters. And I think people are coming around to actually getting back to the animals, because I feel like a lot of people hop into the hobby thinking that they're going to make money and it's all this stuff, but there's a lot of stuff that comes with everything. With my level of expertise and knowledge, and traveling all over, I have spent all kinds of money on animals. And I've had people tell me that I'm in the animal industry for money or whatever, and I'm like, if I was really in the animal industry for money, this would be like the worst investment ever. I do this because I love it, and honestly, literally, you make money in the industry, but if you're doing it correctly, you're putting so much money back into them and making sure that they're taken care of. And that's what really matters, is to grow in that retrospect and give these animals a safe haven and put them in safe hands.
I was glitching there. I tried to take myself down and see if I could take something away from the... Okay, yeah, we starting to catch back up here. But yeah, man, when I used to raise, pit bulldogs, I actually gave puppies away. I didn't make no money. Like, I did it for a long time. I made no money because I felt every yard should have a pit bull puppy in it. That's the way I felt.
Yeah.
If you just came up now, this was irresponsible. I was extremely young, and I wish I could have met myself in the middle there. But you could just come with a female. Man, I like that male you got. Hey, I want to breed. Yes, you can breed to my male. Almost anything. And it's like, oh man, you could have killed your dogs like that,
Yeah.
But that was that part of me that was like, man, I'm trying to share every aspect of what I'm doing over here.
Yeah.
I want to share with all other people that have the same interest.
Yeah.
I was the pit dog man. I got it on a tattoo. That's I'm going to see pit dog man. I got all these questions. And yes, if I was more educated then, or should I say fast forward to now, if I was doing it now, I would know how to share my passion, share my knowledge, but yet teach people the side of the to be more responsible also.
Yeah.
Like as far as buying the critters, that you want somebody to take it, and when they take off running with it into husbandry, all they have to do is do their research and find out what to do and just enjoy it. You don't want them to get something from you and they're worried about it just, oh, is it going to live, or is it,
right?
Is it wild? Is it going
things? Yeah. It's not eating. It has these bugs on it and, all these weird things. It's just not a pleasurable experience. And that draws a lot of people off. I've had tons of people buy animals that die or animals that aren't in good health, and they never ever come back to the community because of that. And and that's not something we want either. And I deny people all the time, celebrities and all types of people that, hey, can I get a monkey off you? Can I buy a bear? You got a big cat going, and even me, man, I make sure that I ask preliminary questions. I do inspections and all of that before any transaction of anything occurs. And that's another thing that we need to get better at. If you want money and that's your end all be all, these are living creatures. You know what I mean? It's not a business to where we're selling bottle caps or something like that. These are real animals that we need to consider in everyday life, in every second. So in that, I feel like, again, we just need to get back to loving the animals and giving them the best quality, because they take care of you. When you take care of them, they take care of you. And that's how it should be.
For real. What do you think about this breed legislation, this blindly thrown out breed legislation in regards to, I've seen it with the bully breed, which is still out there, but now that they're worried about the reptiles and with the Lacey. I hear the Lacey Act is those pieces of legislation, laws, whatever they've attached to it, they've taken off because they weren't being received. So that's not a scare at this moment. But because it did show up, it's bound to come back around again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think what's going on over there with Florida is an example of what will happen in other places if we don't correct this via us as keepers, because the state and government feels like it's their job to now come and do what we're lacking to do. Not saying us individually, but there's plenty of people giving animals to just anybody. Hey, do you have money? I want a hyena. Okay, you have money for a hyena? Well, there you go. You know, and all this crazy stuff happens. So it's the individuals out there that's doing the bad thing, causing all of it to get forecasted and shadowed over everyone. And that's what's causing all the madness in Florida. But I do think, again, we have time. We have time to reverse all of this. If we can show that we can maintain good places of business and maintain these animals in proper ways, you know, you're not going through inspection after inspection of red flags all over the place. There's Texas game wardens that I've talked with. The Texas game wardens are tired of seeing animal facilities that are being poorly taken care of. You know what I mean? So even from that aspect, it all comes back to you as the keeper. We need to do better, and that'll mitigate a lot of the issues that we're having in legislation.
Yeah, then we complain about the government, but when the hog is fat, we're just eating, and nobody's paying attention to anything, you know. And then when it starts to get lean, now you're finally realizing that they've been sneaking in and coming up closer and closer to you the whole time, but you didn't care.
Yep.
You know, and that's the bad thing, because we get to that point where it's like, man, why are they doing this? No, they weren't really sneaking up on you. You know? You just
it feels like that to the younger generation. It definitely does, because even us, you know, I've met a lot of the bigger guys, you know, like Tom Crutchfield and the bigger reptile breeder guys. They've seen this coming a mile away, you know, because they're up looking at it from a bird's eye view. But those guys that are getting their first snakes and they're just starting their collections and getting their research in to get into the hobby, they're realizing that blockchain right there, and it's sad, but it's also very needed. I would say in Florida's case, in particular, you know, allowing a lot of things to go on that was allowed for as long as it was is just not okay either. So I'm on both sides of the fence with that.
And I'm just now getting a real picture in my head of the Florida scenario with you saying that, like for Florida to have gotten so far out there. I mean, little South America, and I don't even mean population of people.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, I don't even mean the
very literal
population. You know, it's like how did it get so far out there?
Yeah,
and now we just noticed. Oh my God,
little Costa Rica.
Is that 100 parakeets just sitting up on the power line like they supposed to be here? You know? That's crazy.
Yeah. I've seen croc monitors out in the Everglades, you know, like I'm like, dude, this is just, I mean, even in Texas, there's some places that, you know, man, in those lakes and stuff, you're bound to see some stuff that ain't from here.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's why I try to just, from my Instagram and my content, you'll see that I try to portray the logical, emotional side of animals so that people can connect to them better. You know, naturally, if you don't like animals, but if you can sympathize with an animal being scared of something or being hungry, or, you know, the connecting with them hunting and, you know, different aspects of the animal, it's more easily digestible for people, I've seen. So given different facets of the animal, that's why I hate when people have a YouTube channel just for feeding videos, you know, like everything on there is just live feeds and horrible slaughter stuff. And it's like, do we need more of these videos? There's already millions of them. Everyone knows how a snake digests its meal, how a lizard or a tick would eat a large rat rodent or something. You can see millions of those images out there. Google it. But how smart these animals can be, or how gentle they can be around people, or even protective. That information gets mixed with all the chaos of, you know, the BS floating around. So
yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
that's like same scenario when I used to ride bulls. Okay, I rode bulls, and I would get in conversation with people. Oh, you used to ride bulls? Man, well, I like to see, you know, tapes where they have the crashes, and again, I'm like, you know, lives are lost with those crashes and the bulls hooking, and you like to see that. That's kind of the same way I look at the live feeds. Okay, they have to eat. Yeah, some people feed live, some people don't. But it can be overboard. It can be overbearing.
It is. You know, if there's not a teachable moment in there, it's not. You know, it's not. That's why even in my videos, I could make my interaction with my King Cobra videos. I could make those all day. But if there's not a teachable moment in there, then I'm not pushing our community forward at all. If I'm just doing it for the clickbait and doing it to, you know, for that, because then you're just learning bad information from me. So, and I don't want to be involved with that. And that's why the places that you see me, I'm invited to, I'm allowed to go to all these places and travel and stuff like that, because they respect the message that I'm also trying to put out there, and interacting with the cool stuff that I don't think there's an animal that I haven't had an interaction with, really, other than a Komodo dragon, maybe. But the Houston Zoo said that they'll take care of that for me.
Okay,
Dr. White, if you're watching this somehow, we need to make that happen.
A Komodo dragon is a whole other mind state.
Oh man! Hey, if I get it, if I get clearance for that in Houston, I'll invite you out there. We'll make another video.
Hey, please do. Because when I had the Nile monitor that I had, I know how big it would get, but I mean, at the end of inevitably, my whole picture was still the Komodo dragon. That's like what you always gonna see. That's the game. You know?
Yep.
And I'm like, boy, you know, if this Nile monitor got that big, what were you gonna do? What in the world? Where was it gonna be? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Or the envision you get, like a lot of people when they buy an anaconda or their first retic, they're like, man, I want it to be as long as a school bus. And I'm like,
no,
you don't know what comes with that, man. Those poops are ginormous. You don't want to be around those, man. So, or constantly having to have 6 people to enjoy your animal.
Help you, because I was watching some videos here recently where they went into like the extremely large animals, and they were saying how you must, when you pull this animal out, you must have another person with you, like, you know. And I'm glad that they started doing that, because I had never beforehand, that was not mentioned. That was never mentioned. You see these people out there trying to.
Yeah, that's great.
You know, I'm like, man, your snake can kill you.
Yeah.
You know?
I've seen people in reptile shows get choked out by other snakes. You know, people letting because they don't know. You know, you're assuming that this person that wants to hold your 20-foot snake has held a 20-foot snake before. But most of the time, that's not the case.
No.
And, you know, it goes bad. So,
their first one. I want to touch a snake.
That's the first snake they've ever held in their life. So, yeah, I've had people come up to me and they see my King Cobra stuff. Now, man, can I do that? I'm like, you know, that don't even have a ball python, don't even, you know, corn snake. Nope, we're gonna go straight to King Cobra.
Hey, look, this is what you do with those people though, with a King Cobra. You know, retics or whatever. They that big. They're not even gonna acknowledge the person is there until the person is already holding them for the most part.
Yeah, they're just
man. But that Cobra is like a little dude in a suit. You know, you're anywhere near it and he's
yeah.
I'm like, hey, can you not look at me? You know,
don't play, man.
Yeah, please don't
play.
Can you stop that snake from looking at me? You know, they won't want to touch him. If just stand there by the enclosure. Just stand here first, and then we'll take him out.
Yeah.
Why is he looking at me like that? Why is he? Yeah, exactly. You don't want him to come out. You know,
we have banded Cobra, Chinese banded King Cobra coming on Monday. So keep a lookout for that. And maybe next year we should have some King Cobra babies. So I will be producing some of those for you guys.
Ooh.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Some local kings for you guys.
Head like this, you know, like.
I've had a death stare from a King Cobra one time. There was a Java King Cobra that was in the United States for a month, and my buddy had it. Brought it over to my house. We opened it in the garage, and I'm expecting, you know, jungle style King Cobra to come out of there. No. This dude Lucifer was coming out of that container. This snake was trying to kill us, and my photographer at the time, he almost broke his $20,000 camera trying to film us. Like, he could not contain himself because we're in a garage, and he's just trying not, like, he thinks he's gonna get bit, and there's all kinds of madness going on. And bad day.
Oh, look, and there's no.
Yeah, no bites.
You can't do that. Oh, distract him over here. No, Cobra's not really falling for that.
When they're that big, that's the problem. Yeah, that's the biggest. That King Cobra can reach lengths up to 16 feet. You know, that's a big. You can't even use hooks anymore. You know, there's no hooks.
And stretch almost his whole body out. Like, how is he holding his whole body up there like that?
Yeah, he can. A full-grown male can like stand up and stare me. I'm 6 foot. And it can stare me in my eyes. Yeah. This. I have a little guy back there. That's a fake statue of one.
Definitely. Have you ever heard of Ricky Tikki Tavi?
Yes.
See, you're young. You should have supposed to know that. I'm glad you do. Because there was a lot of folks I mentioned. I said, hey, I grew up watching Ricky Tikki Tavi and the Cobra family and them revenge back and forth on each other. And I'm like, that ruined me. But it is, for it to be so old, you don't expect, I mean, it's not CGI and all of that, but they depicted with the personification, but they depicted the way you, like I was just describing how a Cobra looks like he's just thinking and he's like, hey, you know, I'm smarter than you. I can't talk. But they actually, you know, those snakes could talk on that cartoon, but it's like, yes, that's real life.
Yeah.
You in your head, you're like, man, that snake is like, right now he's trying to talk to me, but his words are just not coming out.
Yeah.
You know?
And actually, with the King Cobras, there's so much nonverbal communication that's happening. Like if you're holding, there's so much that they do with their body, with their flexing and relaxing of the muscles. And they also do this growl hiss thing that is menacing. So you can actually feel like rumbles. And so there's a lot of nonverbal communication going on with Cobra species that they are intentionally giving you signs to look out for. And that's a big thing. My wife, when she watches me mess with Venom, she is like super on edge, but she's come to learn that even the snakes know, how to communicate, and they have a certain way of going about things.
Yep. Man, and it's Nicole, Lady Tiss Exotics on YouTube has retics. She's got a few retics. She's got alligator monitor. She's got some ball pythons, but she's got these big old retics that she'll just let loose in her house. But she's real big on explaining to people the communication aspect, like the way her snakes actually do. Like she's got some super social snakes. She's got some snakes that can be slightly antisocial, but depending on who it is in her house that comes through there to interact with them, determines how the snake acts.
I'm glad that you said that, not me, because so many people come to my house and all my animals are named, and they're all named to kind of their attitude and how they are. And every person that comes over here says 100% they can tell each snake has their own personality. Each thing has their own, thing. Because if you allow and you create an environment to allow them to have those things, a Nile monitor in a 30-gallon tank with no water bowl, no stones, nowhere to hide, they aren't gonna do anything because they don't have the ability to do much. But if you give them abundance, it rewires and it makes them question things. Okay, like, well, if I want to go in this corner, but there's this thing blocking it, how do I get over there? And, so their thought process gains and builds as they're in this, so you have to, as a keeper, allow for that, allow the enrichment. That is a real thing. And as that enrichment goes, they will grow with that, and they do have their own personalities. I've had people come over here that they ask me, do you think snakes can sense fear? Now, I don't know if I can't say for certain yes or no, but I do know that snakes can sense something. They can sense uneasiness. They can sense maybe it's your,
pheromone.
And maybe release. You're putting off something, but they can definitely feel like if you're not comfortable with holding them, because my snakes, if I pull them out right now, they'll climb all over me, and because they're used to me holding them and how I interact with them. But my wife tends to just hold them and just look at them, and they know that. When my wife picks them up, they kind of just sit there and stuff. But if I grab it off of her, they'll start moving and going. So yeah, to each his own. They do have very cool personalities, and if you allow that nurturing enrichment environment, it can be so rewarding.
It's the, like, your smell, your temperature, and the plus, like we were talking about with the fish and the ability to calm you down. Your animals, you go into a different whole mindset, when you're with them.
You connect with them.
So you're the same, they know you, and you're the same all the time. So when somebody else comes in, now they have to taste it. They're tasting the air, and they're like, okay, I don't know. I used to do this with people. I used to carry a $50 bill. Back in my dog days, I used to carry a $50 bill behind my driver's license. And I'll be waiting for people to talk about these bad dogs. And I said, I'm gonna bet you $50 I can touch your dog. Oh man, you gonna, oh boy, they gonna, man, my dog. I said, okay, all right. Follow him to their house, you know, and I stand out the street, wherever the dog is, you know, stand far enough away to where now I'm not close enough to really be a concern to him. Now he's just reacting out of what he's learned.
Yeah.
So I'm watching him do that. I assess that. Then I move in a little bit closer. Now I'm getting the way you can smell me. So now that form of aggression slows down because he can't smell and bark and be crazy at the same time because now he wants to smell me. So then I let a little more scent get to him. I get closer and I get closer. And then already knowing what I know about not staring him down, you know, anything like that. Mind you, I still have my whole physical body in front of this dog. But no eye contact, never. The whole time, no eye contact. So he's going, he comes down. And then I'll turn sideways and give him the back of my hand. He's smelling. As he's smelling, I rub up his chin. Next thing you know, I'm on top of his head. Oh, man.
Yeah.
They die. Oh, man.
It's like a dance like that, too. Oh. With the reptiles, it's no different. Especially, I can feel that with working with people, other people's animals also. I've only been bitten by like 2 or 3 times of me owning animals. I've only been bitten 3 times by my own stuff. Now, by everybody else's stuff, you know, it's a different story. So I can even contest to that, even working with other people's stuff. Their animals, I can tell that they're a little on edge and they're still, you know, questioning me a little bit. So yeah, it's pretty cool when you can think that deep about it. And I wish everybody could have that mindset to even allow themselves to think that far into the animal psyche, because what I've been seeing lately is just people have an animal and put it in a cage so that they can take pictures with it, and you know, and we gotta change that.
The poor normal ball python. See, I'm old enough to remember when, if there were moths, they were still overseas.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
The poor normal would be at the Kappa beach parties and, you know.
Yep.
You passed me 50 times, and that snake has been in the same place on your shoulders.
Yep.
And you have no container in your vehicle, no water. Yep. So, okay, where's the snake riding? Yeah, where's he riding when he, oh man. Is he gonna even make it home? You know, oh.
I've seen it. I've seen it. And it's a lot of that going on, man. Man, you say he made it to the Kappa party. He probably got a drink too. They probably gave him a shot or something. Man, hey man.
Look, a drunk ball python, a drunk pit bull puppy. You know, oh man. Yeah, I've seen some loony sea, man. Oh man.
No animals are harmed during this podcast.
Exactly. You know, I don't have to worry about that with him, man. But oh yeah, I've seen some lunacy with the animals. I've actually watched a dog. It's gonna sound crazy the way I said. I watched a dog into my possession. Like I saw him, you know, when the owner really cared about him, and I admired him. Hey, good looking dog. Time passed, you know, I'm
Gotcha.
Then I see the decline. Then I'm coming through because I was working at a convenience store, so I'm getting the outdated burritos and the outdated sandwiches you're supposed to throw away, but I'm bringing them with me, and I go through and I'm throwing them to the dog. And then I end up seeing the owner maybe a month later. Hey, what's it gonna take for me to get that dog from you? Man, he bad. Man, tell you what, if you got $20, if you could get him in your car You can get him. Okay, no problem. And I go and pop the chain and pick him up, and they're like, I'm like, dude, I've been watching. Look, I'm probably the reason why that dog is still alive.
Yeah, I've had a lot of, man, my wife, she used to do, she used to work with an organization in Houston. You might know, they take the dogs to Colorado. I forgot what it's called. I don't know.
So like
I don't know if it's CAPS or
a big sanctuary, like.
Yeah, they have a huge dog sanctuary, and they take them up to Colorado because there's a lack of dogs up there. But I'll give you there was a Rottweiler named Bronson. This Rottweiler was huge, and I put him in my car. He seemed fine. You know, he got in the car, everything was fine. And then midway through the drive, he started growling, and he like took a little snap at me while I was driving.
Yeah.
I hopped out on I-10 while it was raining and just like gave him his space, you know, hey, talk to him nice, you know, you're okay, you know, give him a little bit of rubs and good care, because I have no idea where this dog came from. You know, they called us, hey, we have a shelter dog for 2 weeks that we want you to care for. We're like, no problem. Come pick him up. And 2 minutes of sweet nothings, you know, got me in the car, riding back, you know, stroking him slowly, talking to him. Man, at the end of that 2 week time, I really did not want to let him go. He attached so much. And that's the beauty right there of animals and at its core. It's people have like forgotten that, like you said, you get the dog and everyone's excited. It's your new dog. He gets to sleep in the bed and, you know, you're giving him scraps, and then it's like, oh, it turns into like get away dog, you know, like annoyance. And it's just, we need to be more connected, man, to our animals, to the world, to nature as a whole in general. And that's what we have gotten away from. But I feel like we're reverting back. Even me, younger generation, I feel like I've encountered more young people wanting and seeking like nature and connection in that light. So I think it is kind of turning back.
Gotcha, most definitely. I'm gonna tell this story, and then I want you to tell everybody how many, you know, well, what creatures you have in your own, you know, collection at this point. I had a buddy years ago, you know, during my dog days, and he had pit bull dogs, a lot of them. Well, on the corner of his house, the driveway came up to the end of his trailer house, and he had a dog house right there. And he had one particular dog that was always in that dog house, because you were not coming in that yard beyond that driveway with this dog in that dog house. So I come one day, mind you, I was always at his house, but I didn't interact with maybe one or two of his dogs. You know, the other dogs, you know, he didn't let people interact with them.
Yeah.
But I was there often. I pull up, and he had this female dog named Chocolate. No, I'm telling the story backwards. Chocolate was in a kennel, like around his front door. Like, you know how the deck, and then you have like a wheelchair ramp, where he had like a kennel fence that went around it. So she was up and down and Petey was a red nose with one red patch over his eye, was in that doghouse. Okay. I pull up to the yard, and I'm expecting Petey to be in this doghouse. Chocolate looked like the devil. Her ears were clipped, and it seemed like they were that long. You know, sitting up on top of her head, she was solid black. Looked like her eyes were black.
Yeah.
This dog only liked him and his little girl. And this little girl was like 3. You ain't gonna touch that baby if Chocolate was out there. When I say Chocolate liked nobody. Now, show you how smart these animals are. He wasn't at home. I didn't know it though, but he wasn't there. I pull up, I hop out. I'm expecting Petey to be at this doghouse. I roll up. Now I'm like 3 feet from this doghouse. It's nighttime, so it's dark in the doghouse.
Uh-oh.
She's black, right?
Uh-oh.
Dark. So I look in the doghouse expecting Petey and her And these ears come easing out of the doorway of the doghouse. So I'm like, oh, okay. Well, it might be over. She shot out of that doghouse, bumped my shin with her front teeth, with her mouth closed. Broke the skin, but she didn't bite me.
Yeah. Yeah.
She hit me. I said, thank you. Thank you, Chucky. And I stepped back to my car because I knew what that meant. Thank you very much.
Yeah. There's a lot of venomous snakes. They can control their venom glands. And I could contest the king cobras, and specifically, king cobras are so intelligent. The reason that makes them, their venom isn't even in the top 20 most potent venoms. And it's only because they can administer so much venom is what makes them deadly. But what really makes them more deadly is they're so smart. Like, they will pick up on everything. They know exactly like what time of day you come in, what side of the cage you open most often, you know, how you grab the water bowl and different things that you do. But in king cobras, and specifically, I've gotten a lot of buddies. I've never been bit by anything venomous, but I've had a lot of buddies tagged by their king cobras and have not been envenomated. You know, because they'll tag you to be like, okay, get the fuck away from me, leave me alone. But that's that. They won't try to kill you. They know that you're their owner, but you know, so
I run this.
yeah. Like, and it's crazy. They know that they can kill you too. They fully know that I'm the boss in there. You can feel it. But to speak on my collection in here, it will be expanding a lot more because I've gotten rid of a lot of my retics. I've gotten out of the boa game. I'm not keeping any more giant snakes other than king cobras. So right now I have some breeding pairs of Amazon tree boas, which I'm super excited about because they have been popping out some beautiful colors and patterns, and they've been awesome. I have a baby crocodile that I'm raising up. His name is Tank, surprisingly enough. He's growing great, and I'm socializing him all the time. He eats off tongues with me. He comes to a call, and I can hold him totally fine. I can literally throw him on my lap right now. He won't try to bite me or anything. So I'm planning to nurture that relationship with him. People think I'm crazy because the goal is to swim with him when he's big. Oh. But I think I can pull it off because as I nurture this relationship, I've swam with a pretty big caiman before, you know, because I've had that relationship with him. But I think that I can nurture, you know, something along those lines to where we can get it down to actually have some type of friendship. I have some diamond pythons that I'll be breeding in the next coming years. The diamond pythons are really cool. I know a lot of people aren't really getting into them right now or have them locally in the Texas market. Same thing for the Amazon tree boas. I do have scrub pythons. I had all the morphs of scrub pythons, but I got rid of the Maruki scrub python morph. But I do have the Barnecks, and I do have the patternless, and I do have Highlands, which I'm planning on having some Barneck scrub pythons captive born and bred in Texas next year. So that should be awesome. I will have some gold Barneck scrub pythons here for you. I will also be producing some Brazilian black tarantula species. They're pretty cool. Imagine a black velvet tarantula the size of my hand. It's also, I think, number 2 in the most tame tarantula you can own. So they're super, super sweet tarantulas, very easygoing. And that's about it right now. I can show a couple of these guys off.
Yeah, because I saw him, yeah.
This dude.
Hey, y'all. Yeah, they got some bad ones.
this dude here. Hold on, let me turn this around for you. Turn this around for y'all. He is beautiful. His name is Maxwell. We have Athena here. Athena is very red.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, she is beautiful. All that white spreads every time she sheds. She's getting more and more white, more and more black spots everywhere.
Mainly arboreal.
Yeah, these guys are arboreal up in the trees. I keep them in the racks until about a year, and then they go into their big vision cages. This beautiful little girl here. She might be het blonde. Beautiful little female. Her name is Captain Marvel. It's my dude Maze right here. Maze is gonna shed for me in the next couple days.
Frankie Beverly?
Yes, sir. I'm a young old man.
Yeah, I see.
Miss Tangy. So she was produced with two more others from this female back in February.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, like I can touch all of my Amazons for the most part, and they won't try to rip my face off. And that's what keeps a lot of people from owning Amazons, because they're very flighty species. But once you actually captively produce them, that goes away. And a lot of them are very, very handleable. This female is gravid right now. She'll probably drop those babies for me end of the year, beginning of next year time frame.
What is that morph color?
She's a bicolor.
Okay. I was gonna say
she has a lot of iridescence going on.
Look like it should be Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah, she is awesome. And I don't know what her babies are gonna produce, because she's a wild caught that I raised up, and she has those red eyes though. So I'm really excited about what she's going to produce for me. And this is Papa of the new babies. And Papa is super red.
He's got dark red eyes.
Yeah, his name is Hellboy.
Okay.
From the movie.
Gotcha. I had a black better named Hellboy. I mean, I'm talking about a red and black better named Hellboy.
I do have some chondros. You asked about the chondros earlier.
Green.
My female there.
When I get a snake, I may just have to get it from you.
Oh, yeah. Let me know, man. You're right down the street.
Most definitely.
It's my big diamond boy right here. I love this dude. This guy was actually given to me as a gift from a breeder in California. So he trusted me to, keep his lineage going on and care for his boy.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that was really cool. Sentimental guy right here. Like I said, I do the scrub pythons. I don't know if we can catch her. She's pretty hidden in the corners. They all like to stay pretty hidden.
You don't have ball pythons, right?
Negative.
Okay, so Bunny Viper asked if you had piebald.
I can get them. I just don't produce them, but I can get them all day. So if you're looking and that's something that's up your alley, I can get pretty much any animal. My female, this is her quarantine cage. And she's up there in the corner. Light bars. As you know, as you guys also know, snakes don't need UVB lights, but I do provide all of my snakes with UVB lighting, you know, just to give them the extra enrichment. I have all of them have indoor cages and outdoor cages, so they all get plenty of outdoor sunlight and natural sunlight to absorb. A lot of people notice when they come to my house and see my animals in person, they are like, man, they're all very iridescent, and I think that's just in benefit to giving them the natural sunlight and everything like that.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know you. If you put your fish outside, like people have the summer ponds and whatnot, then they get them and bring them in. It's like, man, you know, the color is so more vibrant being outside than the one you have in the house.
Yeah, those males like to show off.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that's a little bit about what I have at the house. I used to have all my venom here. I used to have my primates and my big cats and stuff here, but I'm moving within the next month, and then I'll be bringing all that stuff to one site. So next time we do this, I'll have some furry critters with me and some other stuff with me.
Where's your tarantula? Christina Dorsey wants to see it.
That's my wife, everybody.
Oh, okay.
I get it. Oh, yeah. So, that tarantula that I mentioned that I'll be bringing, a lot of people don't have the Brazilian black. And this lady, like I said, she's not fully grown now. But in the next year or so, she will be the size of my hand, or like a big velvet tarantula.
Have you seen our local tarantula?
Oh yeah, the Texas brown.
Yeah, I would tell people on here. So now, now you can vouch. I would tell people on here, you know, Brookshire right down the road there. You could go out in the cornfields back in the day, and like when the drought would come in, and you have this hordes of tarantulas crossing the highway.
Yep. No, you are. There she is.
Ooh. I had one, and my aunt made me get rid of it. And it wasn't even going to be in the same room with her. She just didn't want it in the house, I guess. Get rid of it.
That's my girl.
Nice, yes.
So, like I said, I have a boyfriend for her. He's just not here right now. But I will be able to produce these guys for my tarantula arachnid loving folks. I'm glad.
Do all tarantulas breathe the same way, where the male has to hold up the fangs in the front?
Fangs. I can't wait until she's fully grown, though. But I'm glad that I'm glad that the wife pointed that out, because that's something you don't see too often.
Yeah.
Brazilian black. Like I have 2 English bulldogs, and I have a tricolor pit, and that's all we have for right now.
Okay. Good deal. See, hey, look at that. We hit that hour hour and a half on you.
Man, hey, that was easy. I enjoyed myself talking to you guys. It was fun. I had a blast. Big Tank, man. We'll be seeing each other in person.
Yeah, we got to.
Oh yeah, for sure. You're way too close not to. So we'll kick it on a more personal level with that. But I enjoyed coming in here talking to you guys, and getting some of the vibes for the day.
Most definitely, man. Again, speaking on that energy, that thing we was talking about, and a lot of my followers would hear me say, I know a lot of them understood. Some of them didn't. They probably thought it was, oh, he's cocky. He's trying to sound cocky. He's this, he's that. Because I would say there's some people that can't sit in front of me. Like, I watch videos. You know, I brought people up on here with like 20 subs, you know, because I'm watching videos and it's.
Yeah.
I message them, hey, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I want to talk to you. And bring them up, you know?
Yeah.
And there's some big streamers that, well, not streamers, but, you know, big channel people that, you know, I'm like, yeah, no, I don't even want to talk to you in real life.
I've had Nick the Wrangler over at my house. You know, he's a pretty big name. I've met all these social media influencers, I guess. I've met a lot of them, and I would say maybe 30% of them are actually like worthy of an audience to you know. So I'm glad that you said that, because the numbers, and that doesn't really matter, because honestly, this interview with you, Hank, it has been better than a lot of the interviews and things that I've had on bigger platforms, because the conversation is authentic, and we've been rolled in one tank this whole time. You know, a lot of that other stuff is edited and put out there. So I'm glad that all of this was authentic. All of this was one take live. And it was a blast. And I could tell even from your energy that, you wouldn't have interviewed me just because, you know. Yeah. So I appreciate the opportunity.
And I'm glad you said it, because there's people who don't do the pre-talk to thing.
And I do that on purpose, because I don't want to talk to anybody until the day of, because there is no like filling me out. You know, you can't really fill me out to everything's on spot. So we did that today. We got that accomplished.
And they'll say to you, man, you call. I'm like, I usually don't get no phone numbers. I'll get a phone number after the stream in the green room, like, because now we've talked, we've done everything. It's like, hey man, tell you what, shoot me a phone number. I'll shoot your mine. Before that, I'll message and I'll say what I have to say. And I'm leaving it totally up to the person, you know. I'm leaving it totally up to the person, you know, God, the whole nine. I'm like, they do or they don't, you controlling this, you know. Because trust me, I've had some people like, you know, if I platform you, I don't know if I'm like, you know what, don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
because it's not,
don't even worry about it.
It's for them, that's why. Because it's not to better the platform, the community as a whole. I'll interview with anybody if you're a respectable person. You know, if you're a respectable man of word, you're worth my time. I don't care about the viewership after that. The people that are here, I can't see the chat room or anything, but the people that are here to digress and hear the information, and that's all that matters. If one or two, three people in here can feel better or got something from this, that's what matters.
Most definitely. I holler at people, man. Messenger, I have had this one particular young lady. Dee, what's going on, Dee? Message me, Dee. Come on now. Come on, message me. But I had one young lady that I was gonna have on. I didn't advertise it or anything. And I was talking to her in the green room deal, and we talked like, man, an hour and a half. And I told her, I said, we're not even gonna go live. Because just the conversation I had with her, you know, I was like, when you're ready, let me know. Because I was allowed to, you know, I said I'm a minister. And for me, that's a whole nother thing, because I'm spiritual as opposed to religious. you know.
Yeah.
And the conversation that we had, you know, was like, I think that's all we were supposed to do.
Yeah.
An hour and a half, me sitting back in this room, talking to her right here, and I'm like, I'm not hitting no button.
Yeah. I mean, it's like that
good.
sometimes. So it is a pleasure though being on here with like-minded people, and I can tell that you're on that type of, like, I call myself the young old man. Like, I truly feel like I'm a young old man. All my friends are 50, you know, are up there in that area, and I think it's better that way because the wisdom, the knowledge, the encouragement, the group of growth is nothing like it. You're not, everybody my age is trying to destroy me, it feels like. But you know, finding that ground of support and commonality between people that just want to see the best in you. And
because you have so much time still out in front of you to assimilate and all this information, man. You can be that one, sounding cliche, right? You could be that one because you're so young, and to get all this information now. Whereas, you know, it's me, like, I'm coming along, I'm getting. I had a lot of older people. I was blessed to have that too, you know, and to come along to where I hit a point to where people message me. I really don't have anybody that I can go to almost anymore. Yeah. Which for me is sometimes sad, you know, but it's like, you know, it gets a little heavy sometimes. Yeah.
And it's like, it's good being the in-between of the two, like, because all of my friends and all of the industry OGs, so to speak, I get their digress, and I hear their complaints and things, and I also hear what goes on in my group, so I can be able to merge the two and hinder that. And I've already done that in the local. Sean Herps, he does the Conroe Herps shows. He does all those shows. He's a very personal friend of mine. He, you know, He donates to my foundation, and I support him and Lori through whatever. And Sean, you know, it almost feels like this, and I want to hear your word on that, on what I'm about to say. Me being the only, like, black young person that I see, I don't know that, I know that there's way more now because I've met them. But coming up, I was the only black guy that I saw that was actually doing this for real, you know? Mm-hmm. So, as now going through this, the only reason I have a social media platform is because of the real Tarzan. And I think we all know who that guy is. Yeah. But he's one of the guys that I've met, like we talked backstage earlier. I've met so many of my idols and people in my life already. And he's one of the guys I've met and realized, dude, you suck. Like, you have all this viewership and all this stuff, and it's for nothing. And you could be doing, something. It's clout. It's endorsement deals and all this other stuff. It doesn't stem from genuineness. I don't care what the backstory he tries to put out, but seeing that firsthand makes me even more like making sure I'm authentic to me, because I don't want somebody to ever meet me and feel how I felt meeting him. Yeah.
I've had that experience. Now, a little different from me because the individual that I met when I first started, remember I said I've been in YouTube like 15 years, but the fish side almost 3. So
I didn't know YouTube was like that old of a platform. Yeah. A buddy of mine, he was on YouTube for 20 years. I said, YouTube was a thing when I was 5? I've had like 3 channels, 3 different channels, counting this one.
Yep.
Yeah.
I met this individual, man, and he was like, you know, man, the people you hang out with. Mind you, I was watching the, you know, his videos, man. You know, I'm like, hey, you know what I mean? The people you hang out with, I'm like, we're about the same age. I'm your peer, actually. You know, I'm not like, you know, a kid that you're talking to on here. So I've been married for 24 years. I hang out with my wife. Like literally, when you see me here, I'm in this house or I'm at my job. I say, you know, all that extra YouTube drama, dude, what are you on here for? You know, what are you on here for? You know, he went to, oh man, you could have did this, you could have filmed with me, you could have. Saying all that to say, me being me is so much more important. I could probably be sitting on 10,000 subs at this point because of people I have access to that has offered, you know, and I'm like, no,
easy.
I have a pull of what I'm supposed to be doing. Even if I'm not doing it completely right, I'm going on strictly my field. I said, I'm good. You know, I'm good. Yeah, you want to pick up your subs, but they've been coming. Gradually, they've been coming. Man, I had a 7-second video. 7-second video I put out. They got 124,000 hits on it, like at the very beginning. You know, people, man, how did you? I'm like, man, that video is 7 seconds.
Yeah.
It was.
That's weird. I've had like, to contest to me too. So my third video I put on TikTok, I only have 6 videos on TikTok. The third video I put on TikTok did 1.4 million. And I didn't even open the app after that. That should show you, like, I don't care about that stuff. I care about this, like, personal people that's going to listen. Because I don't care about somebody going, oh, that's cute, and press the like button. You know, they didn't really learn anything. I didn't do any. You know, they saw a cute thing, they pressed the like button. Cool. Yeah, that helps me in the overall scheme of thing. If my channel is revenuing and whatever, that's money I can put back into the animals. But I have plenty of videos that do millions and whatever, and I could care less for that stuff. Yeah. And it's proven every time. I don't ever. You don't even see it. If you can find a video that you even look or think is staged, you know, bring it up to me, because most of the stuff that's going around is, if I took one of my snakes to a park and, oh, I went and caught this snake out, look at me. That's all it is. You know, people are, look at me. It's not to teach you anything.
Yeah. I'm gonna show you. Let me see. This person right here, that person. Hey y'all, I'm not pointing anybody out in a bad way. This person here, these are people who God gave me a special relationship on a different type of personal level. Jeffrey Watts, oh, he's up there too far. So Jeffrey Watts would be one of them also. Oh, here we go. Jeffrey Watts. And those people, there's quite a few more. This little group who know me. They don't live in the same town with me, but they could call me. They could messenger me. They've asked me stuff about personal scenarios that went on, you know, at their, you know, with their families, and I'm, hey, you know, man, tell you what, just look at it like this, and don't be so quick to this, or, you know. That's why I continue to come back and sit right here in front of this camera. Sometimes, you know, you want to get into self, because I know some people on here personally, not personal like I know those people, but I know some people who it's obvious to me why they're on here to an extent. And sometimes you can say, well, man, why is that person getting this or that? And then I have to digress. I have to pull myself back. That's not why you're here. That's not why you're here. Remember this, remember this, remember this. And I'm like, okay.
You don't even want that though. You don't even want. I've seen the other side of that. You don't even want to be faking your life to get by. You know, you don't want none of that.
Amen. But yeah, man, I had to pull myself back, because I mean, I had a scenario where I had to tell somebody I would come to their front door, you know, because I'm literally that dude, but they don't understand that dude is sitting back here at all times. me talking about protecting the vessel. Yeah, that guy is sitting in here at all times, like, hey, what's up then? What's up? Yeah, it's okay, man. It's okay.
My wife can say that. My wife can talk to that one. But that's how you should be. I feel like you should have, for a man, you know, you should have that level of crazy you can get to, you know, or because it's needed in certain cases. You might need it.
And I work at a prison, and trust me, and I'm gonna use the word relationship. Dee retired from working in prison, but I'm gonna use the word relationship. It's a dirty word in prison, but we talking about me, and it means something else totally different. I was in food service for a long time, so I had guys that worked for me, like almost like employees per se. And you develop relationship, work relationship, whatever, guys who you gonna have them doing these jobs because you know you can rely on them, and then you got the ones right here to do this because you got to bring them along, but you still giving them something to do. But I've had individuals that I had to pull them to the side and whisper to them, like, you know, do I disrespect you? You know what I'm saying? All day I do this and I do that, you know, and I'm looking out for you. Don't come in here with that old prison, you know, I'm trying to get over, I'm trying to this, I'm trying to do that, because I see through it all, and I'll do blah, 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 blah. And then afterwards they come back, man, you know, I'm sorry, man. I knew better, because that's not how you do us, and you know, because I don't. At the end of the day, you're men too, and I treat them like that. But that other guy is like, hey, you know, I do know where I work, and I know there's not everybody in here means for my goodwill every day. You know, so I have to let them know. Hey, come on, man. I've been doing this long enough to, you know, I can peep the game. I can smell the stink in the air. You know.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. You be careful out there.
Oh yeah.
You be careful out there.
Yeah, most definitely.
That is crazy.
Most definitely. But they say somebody got to do it. But we gonna get up out of here, man. We gonna get up out of here.
The big tank, man. All right,
everybody.
It was nice hanging with y'all. It was a blessing. And I hope that I'm back here. Maybe you'll be here next time. We'll do it.
Hey, that's what we ought to do it like that. And this one right here, that one right there, you know, I'm trying to get him on here. You know, he's playing coy, you know.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm gonna give me a koi fish pond too. Like I'm gonna need your help on that one. Yeah, we're gonna do the koi fish.
Let's do it. Another. Hey, see, y'all. He trying to make me have real content. See that? What is he?
Hey, that's good stuff, man.
Yeah, most definitely.
That's good stuff. Definitely. Those tanks are badass. That's good stuff.
Hey, and that's by the heart, man. You know,
I need.
And they trip out on me because I taste water and stuff like that. I don't actually use like the test strip that you buy in the stores. Yeah. I smell, I taste, I look, and that's how, you know, my tanks just be rolling. You know, my fish be chilling.
Yeah, I gotta get my crocodile into a more lively ecosystem. But once I get this move knocked out the way, we'll link and do something solid.
Yeah, because I'm like, you could come, man. You could get my tote in the garage. You could actually get it. You could get it like, well, not today now, but I mean.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, you could put him in.
Yeah, he'll like it. All that algae, the lily pads, the plant green, all that stuff.
Yeah, we could slide that up out of here. Tomorrow's my Monday, and I'm 4 on, 4/12. So what? Thursday will be my next Friday. No, Wednesday will be my next Friday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll be off next week.
Okay. All right. Just let me know. I'll shoot you my number after this.
Gotcha. Hey, y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Sitting in this thing.
Thank y'all for having us.
Checking us out. Hey, welcoming him in. Share this out. Like. Subscribe if you hadn't.
Yep.
Tell somebody you love them, because I don't care how hard they act or whatever. Everybody needs to know that somebody loves them.
Yeah.
And take care of those animals. We out. Peace.